Jim Livas and Leave Us Alone, Live Ass, you know, I've been called it all. Drumming in fast cars, you know, it's all good. I'm just a drummer, what can I tell you? Yeah, I actually recorded on a second album, started on a second album, and did a little bit more on the fourth album. The third one was kind of an interim CD. So, but I was on the I guess it's actually the third and fourth albums. So, well, the band has certainly changed. You know, we kind of started out with a much bigger band, much louder band, I guess, and we've kind of toned things back a little bit. In a couple of areas, but I think certainly the quality of the music is better. We found ourselves, we got our niche now, and it's kind of it's much different for me from what I've done in the past. You know, playing a lot of blues and rock and that sort of thing. So there's a lot more variability in the music, and I never thought I'd play bells, you know, and here I am playing bells and shakers and the djembe stuff I've never played before. So it's been a whole new ball game for me, but really fun. I started out by meeting Heather. I coached her son in baseball. Actually, she helped me get a job at one point in time. Had a baseball practice one day, and the kids were complaining they weren't doing anything, and they were telling me that they had a bad day. I said, well, you think you had a bad day? I just lost my job that day. So Heather eventually got me in. One day we started talking. We realized that we were both in bands and music and that sort of thing. So I invited her out. I was playing in a classic rock blues band at the time. And she came out and saw me. Apparently they were auditioning me, but I didn't know it. I guess I found that out a little bit later, but that's how it kind of all got started. I'm playing with them for about 3.5 years now. I've gotten to know them on a personal level. We spent, you know, the band has been on the road some. You do 6-7 hours of windshield time together. You learn a lot about each other. We did a show up in Minnesota. I know Tom wants me to share this, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. But you know, we were on stage, and he turns around to me and kind of yelled at me, and what I learned later, he said, was, you know, are you sure about the tempo? And what I thought I had heard on stage was, I'm going to shoot you in the temple. After the show was over, I went back to him and I said, Tom, you know, you shouldn't really talk like that on stage. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you shouldn't really threaten people. And he looked at me and goes, what are you talking about? I didn't threaten you. What do you think I said? And he says, I just told you to watch the tempo. And I go, that's not what I heard. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, because I still think to this day he said, I'm going to shoot you in the tempo. But he denies it. But I know what I heard. I'm playing with some real talented people. Probably the most talented people I've ever played with in a band. So it's all good from that perspective. Just wonderful harmonies, and they're good people too. They get their heads on straight, so it's all good. I would say I've become pretty good friends with them, and I'm proud to be associated with them, really, I really am. So when they ask me how long is this going to continue, I tell them, well, until I can't get up in the morning. So hopefully that'll be a little ways off yet.
Could I have just one more?